Our planet's climate is changing, temperatures are rising and weather patterns are shifting. This phenomenon, known as global climate change, is a serious concern. It affects every corner of our planet and every living being on it. The primary driver of climate change is the greenhouse effect. Certain gases in the atmosphere act like a blanket around the Earth, trapping heat from the sun. These gases, including carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide, are called greenhouse gases. While some level of greenhouse gases is natural and necessary for life, human activities have significantly increased their concentration. The burning of fossil fuels, such as coal, oil and natural gas, is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. These fuels are used for electricity generation, transportation and various industrial processes. Deforestation also plays a role, as trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. When trees are cut down or burned, this stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere. The increased concentration of greenhouse gases traps more heat, leading to a warming planet. This warming effect has a wide range of consequences, from rising sea levels to more frequent and intense heat waves. Over the past 300 years, the Earth's climate has undergone significant changes. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, temperatures remained relatively stable. However, as industrial activities ramped up in the 18th century, so too did the burning of fossil fuels. This marked the beginning of a warming trend that continues to this day. The past few decades have seen some of the warmest years on record. Scientific data from organizations like NASA and NOAA clearly show this upward trend in global temperatures. The consequences of this warming are already being felt around the world. Low-lying island nations like those in the Pacific are particularly vulnerable to rising sea levels. Coastal communities face an increased risk of flooding and erosion. Countries in arid and semi-arid regions, such as those in parts of Africa and Asia, are experiencing more prolonged and severe droughts. Looking ahead, climate projections paint a concerning picture. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the leading international body for the assessment of climate change, predicts a continuation of the warming trend. Even under the most optimistic scenarios, significant warming is expected. Climate change is not just an environmental issue, it's a human issue. It affects people's health, livelihoods, and security. Extreme heat can lead to heat stroke, respiratory problems, and cardiovascular stress. Changes in precipitation patterns can impact agriculture, leading to food shortages and economic instability. Rising sea levels displace communities and threaten vital infrastructure. The younger generation is particularly vulnerable to the long-term impacts of climate change. They will inherit a planet grappling with more extreme weather events, resource scarcity, and potential conflicts over dwindling resources. It is our responsibility to act now to mitigate these risks and ensure a sustainable future for generations to come. Climate change also poses a significant threat to the natural world. Fish and animals are already feeling the effects of warming temperatures, ocean acidification, and habitat loss. Coral reefs, which support a vast array of marine life, are highly sensitive to temperature changes. Many species are facing range shifts, population declines, and an increased risk of extinction. Addressing climate change requires a collective effort. It demands action from governments, businesses, communities, and individuals. We must transition away from fossil fuels and embrace renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and geothermal. We need to invest in energy efficiency, sustainable transportation, and responsible land management practices. Individuals can make a difference by reducing their carbon footprint. This can include simple actions like using energy-efficient appliances, choosing sustainable transportation options, reducing meat consumption, and minimizing waste. Supporting policies that promote renewable energy and climate action is also crucial. We must also adapt to the changes that are already underway. This includes investing in resilient infrastructure, developing early warning systems for extreme weather events, and implementing sustainable water management practices. Protecting our planet from the worst effects of climate change is not a choice. It's a necessity. It requires a fundamental shift in our relationship with the environment. By acting now, we can create a more sustainable and equitable future for all.